You know what time it is? It's time for the morning briefing with Phil Friedman.
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good day, my friends.
E57. I-29.
Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventurers family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend, John Lopez, and also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. And don't forget to visit Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, California, right there on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard. They've got all the bait tackle you'll need for a successful day on the water. Whether it's surf fishing or big game bluefin tuna, drop in and say hi to the folks at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast. Your Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing. Morning briefing.
Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is a gorgeous morning here at sunrise, this lovely Sunday morning. And do we have a lot to talk to you about? We're going to go offshore with the Bluefin Tuna bite. It's really excellent right now. We'll check out Mexico. We'll go up to the Channel Islands and all the way up to San Francisco to check that out. We'll check on the Southern California surf, all the islands, and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good or what? Yesterday, what an extraordinary morning briefing, because I got to meet an extraordinary guy. It was Rod Doobie yesterday down there at the tower on Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway. He was hanging out there for a couple of nights with some family and friends, all great people. And I got to go for a tour and bring you along for that same tour in that historic tower, that water tower constructed in 1892. If you haven't seen yesterday's morning briefing, you owe it to yourself to see it. And Rob, I've got to tell you, I wish you safe travels back to Houston. I can't thank you enough for the hat, and especially for your kindness and generosity in having me down there yesterday. That was really, really special. If you don't mind, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, deplorable smelly little bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. I can feel the warmth of the ocean here on the sand. But let's check it out. Oh my goodness. Warmest water we felt all year long. Take a look at that. If that's not a blessing, nothing else is. This is a gorgeous morning. All right, let's start out in Mexico, down at Cedros Island. Many of you are flying in there right now and finding good yellowtail fishing, throwing the yo-yo iron, throwing the surface iron. Mostly trolled rapalas have also been a way that a lot of the guys catch the yellows down there. Off the hook calico bass fishing, should you want to experience that. We haven't seen all that many white sea bass lately, but there's still a few halibut around, but mostly yellows right now, and it is really, really good. We take you down 140 miles down below the border, and we check out the area around San Quintin. Good yellowtail action going on there. Jeff Lingle, who runs a yacht, will have his offshore report. Man, is he really having a great trip. He's in on the beach right now fishing for white sea bass. He also catches yellows in there and white sea bass. He fishes there around San Quintin and further south, and he's been having some extraordinary fishing. I mention that because offshore, he's also catching bluefin tuna. So if one of the guys down there in San Quintin wants to go offshore, you do have a shot at that bluefin. There's been a little bit of yellowfin tuna and a few dorado down there in that neck of the woods also, but really good yellowtail action. We go down south of the border, 70 miles to the beautiful coastal town of Ensenada. Man, I'll tell you, I can't wait to get down there. It won't be long, and we'll be down in Ensenada organizing your September 19th trip. I know I'm late with the details. Forgive me, my friends. We're going to have that all worked out by Monday, and I should be able to announce that on Tackle Shop Confessions, our live show on Monday night. I know Rob will be watching that not from the tower, from Houston, Texas. He loves that show with Sam De La Torre. And once again, thank you so much for everything, my friend. Really, really had a great day. Ensenada, there's yellows zooming around Todos Santos Islands. Further south of there, down there around Santo Tomas, we continue to see some really good yellowtail action there. And offshore, that bluefin tuna is biting. Trolled Mad Mac type lures are working phenomenal down there in Ensenada. It's been really good. But also rolling up on those foamers and throwing a popper. And we love the Tuna Riot poppers. They work so good. They are so well constructed. They'll hold up to anything those BFT can dish out. Tuna Riot poppers have been working well. Catching a lot of fish on that, and you get to fish heavier line. When you're fishing bait, sometimes you're going to have to drop down to 20 pound to get a bite. But when you're throwing a popper, you better not be throwing it with anything less than 50 pound. That'll work really well. There's good barracuda flurries. There's some bonito running around Ensenada. Good calico and sand bass fishing if you decide to focus on that. And if all else fails, or you just want to add some color to your catch, rock fishing has been outstanding. Carlos Cortez runs Panga out of Cortez, or it's called Cortez Sport Fishing. He's out of Popotla, which is a 15-minute drive south of Rosarito Beach. And down there, Carlos has been running out to the Coronado Islands. He's had some really great scores here recently. It's tailed off a little bit. You know, I want to say he's in the 2 to 8 range on the yellowtail. Not bad on a Panga, and Carlos knows where to find some really excellent rock fishing. Here recently, he had 13 white sea bass to 52 pounds. Remarkable sea bass bite at the Coronado Islands a few days ago. How can you beat that? So Mexico going along really well. The Royal Polaris is at Alijos Rocks, where they had phenomenal Wahoo fishing. A lot of nice big Wahoo down there for the RP. And then when the Wahoo stopped biting, they turned their attention to yellowtail and had excellent fishing on the forkage. They're fishing those yellows in the daytime and at night. And here today, I believe they are still at the rocks. We'll get an update from the RP. These 8-day trips out of San Diego have been absolutely phenomenal. Great fishing going on for the long range guys, whether they're out at the rocks catching Wahoo and also some yellowfin and also some really good yellowtail action, or they go into the coastal region of Baja California. It's all been really, really good fishing. So I don't know how on earth you can beat that. Really good stuff going on long range wise. Let's turn our attention to this bluefin tuna. And man, I got to tell you, the BFT bite for the Pacific Voyager was awesome. In the daytime, at night, limits for 2 days. They're just getting going on their 4-day trip, and they had absolutely wonderful fishing. The fish range in size. You know, there's some 10-pounders in there, but the vast majority seem to be in that like 20 to 50-pound class, with some fish that we see also up there around the 70-pound mark, the 100-pound mark. Every once in a while, you'll see fish that are even bigger than that. So really great fishing for the Pacific Voyager. Let me go down south. Remember, we were talking about Jeff Lingle. He runs that yacht and does such a great job with it. Man, he's down there, and he's got 8 anglers on board with him this time on a 4-day trip, and they are flat putting the wood to him. 29 bluefin tuna for Jeff. He said it has been phenomenal. The light jig simply didn't work all that well last night, so Jeff switched over and went to the Eddie bombs, and it was an Eddie bomb kind of night. And they've got this one Eddie bomb that they have painted black, and they call it the Murder Special, and it has been phenomenal. Really great fishing for Jeff last night as they flat put the wood to the bluefin tuna. They've got 7 fish over 100 pounds. They had a 142-pounder on the kite, and they opened up that big kite fish, that 142-pounder, to see what it had been munching on, and it was full of small sardines. Wow! What a trip Jeff is having. And several other boats have been checking in with us. Some of the long-range guys that are on 3- and 4-day trips, Intrepid, with really great bluefin tuna fishing. And we've seen it for so many others. It has been phenomenal. The Tribute with great fishing. The Freedom, the Rooster, Crow, Crew, Daryl Folger. He said they couldn't find a daytime bite on board the Freedom, but they certainly found the nighttime bite. Great fishing for them. 46 bluefin tuna. KJ from Mag 12 Swim Baits on board the Tornado, experiencing really good bluefin tuna fishing on their trip right now. And it goes on and on and on and on. Yesterday, we called it epic because we could see that the light switch had flipped on. There's daytime fish, there's nighttime fish, and it is flat biting really good. Those daytime fish, sometimes, as previously mentioned, are a bit on the finicky side, so you're gonna have to drop down to 25. I hate to say 20 because that's really light. Remember, these BFT do have teeth, and they will chew through the line. The longer you're on them, the more that can go wrong. So fish as heavy as you can use to get a bite. And you're gonna figure that out by talking to the crew, by being observant, and by just keeping your eyes on the intensity of the bite. If you see it's fired up and they're boiling everywhere and everybody's getting bit, go to the heavy. If it's a very finicky bite, then you're gonna always take your time and choose a good hot bait, change that bait regularly, and drop down the fluorocarbon. It makes all the difference in the world. Great bluefin tuna fishing going on for Southern California anglers right now. We have 2 bluefin tuna 2-day trips on the horizon, with a couple of spots open September 23rd out of C4 Sport Fishing on board the Apollo. And also we will be departing 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California on board the Amigo 2-day trips. You want to get those last couple of spots, send me a text, 657-227-6459. This thing is fired up and on the bite. Let's talk about islands, and we'll start at the Coronado Islands, where the yellowtail fishing at one time this year was phenomenal, with boats catching well over 100 yellows and mixed bluefin and yellowtail and barracuda and calico bass. It's just been mind-boggling how good it has been. But for the past week or so, it's definitely been a different kind of a situation at the Coronado Islands. It's backed way off. Just a few yellows out there right now. You're able to catch plenty of taco meat. I mean by that, bottom rockfish and that kind of thing, but getting big scores on the yellowtail has been way more difficult. There's still some bluefin tuna in the vicinity. Sometimes you'll get them on the anchor, and sometimes you can run down south to the tuna pan area or just find some offshore bluefin tuna. Not wide open by any stretch of the imagination, but not all that bad. There's been a lot of fun fishing going on, no question about it. We take a look at the San Diego yesterday, and they ended up with 5 yellowtail and a bluefin tuna, but they had plenty of the other stuff to go along with it. Out here at San Clemente Island, of course, you got that bluefin tuna right there on the backside of the island, out on Tanner and Cortez Bank. It's full of BFT all throughout the area. Man, these white turnbirds, look out, ladies and gentlemen. You see that going on. There's some good fish, and I love the sound of those little devils. Man, they are just telling you that there is some good surf fishing to be had here. You see those things picking off the bait. I'll get back to Clemente in a moment, but I love this, man. You see those things picking off bait right now? Small 3/4 ounce chrome crocodile. Toss it out there. You are bit. There's yellowfin croaker there. I'll guarantee you there's some Corbina. This is very, very active. Back to San Clemente Island. Sorry about that, everybody. There's some big yellows being caught. May not be a lot of them, but at the island, you drop her loop on the backside and fish live squid or fresh dead squid. You can catch the big yellows, halibut, even a sea bass or 2. Great calico bass fishing going on there at SCI. Also at Catalina Island, the bite is up and it's down. Kind of picky yesterday on the El Patron, just a few bass, but they had a lot of whitefish, so you're able to take home some really good eating fish. No doubt about it, some bonita. There's a lot of yellows wandering around Cat right now. High hopes that that place is going to turn on and bite again here very, very soon. Want to see more yellows. And the fall is when we normally see some really good yellowtail action at Catalina Island. The El Patron runs there every single morning at 5 a.m. You got Mad Dog on deck. You got Mark Sonata running the boat Monday through Thursday. I think it is Chris Isaac Friday through Sunday. It is a phenomenal, fun ride. Guarantee you that. And they have had some pretty good calico bass fishing, especially, you know what I'm going to say, for those anglers who drop the fluoro down to 12, 15, and fish bass with that, you'll do really, really well. El Patron has a twilight trip this very evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. Twilight fishing for sand bass. You can get on board by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org on this beautiful Sunday morning. It can't get any more lovely than it is. Up there in the Channel Islands and beyond, we have seen that wide open sea bass bite that we had, a week ago or so. We've had some really big time halibut scores here recently, but that's backed off also. It's more of a pick and a scratch at the halibut and the white sea bass right now. There's some decent calico bass fishing around, but it's backed way off, no doubt about that. We'll continue to watch it up there. The Island Spirit with a couple of halibut yesterday out of Ventura Sport Fishing. Plenty of rockfish for everybody. That's the beauty of the Channel Islands. You have so much rockfish to back things up. And the Island Spirit does a great job. Wednesday, they've got their halibut special. They're out on their Kids Fish Free trip today. But on Wednesday, they'll be back at it again, fishing for only halibut, leaving an hour earlier. VenturaSportFishing.com or 805-676-3474. The gray light yesterday with 1 white sea bass. Island Fox had 2 white sea bass. The Mirage with 6 halibut. All of those guys catching plenty of rockfish up there in Avila Beach, Morro Bay. Great rock fishing going on up there in that neck of the woods. Monterey with some really great lingcod fishing. San Francisco, we see a lot of great striped bass fishing. There's some good halibut fishing. You go offshore, you can find some really fun bluefin tuna fishing up there in that area. And there's plenty of rockfish and big lings also. San Francisco, I haven't fished it yet. I got to do that one of these days. There is no doubt about that. So there you have our island situation. Let's talk about 1/2 and 3/4 day boats. And again, it was a prolific summer in terms of the bass bite. Calico bass in San Diego, along with some phenomenal sand bass fishing. You can stretch that all the way up here to Huntington Beach, Long Beach, San Pedro, and the Santa Monica Bay. It seems like all of that has backed way off. Also, we're picking at the bass. Every once in a while, you get a little flurry on the sand and or calico bass. Sometimes those flurries have a lot of shorts involved, and other times they're legal fish. But overall, it's backed way, way, way off right now. So again, lighter line, fishing hard, and there's other species to help fill in. There's sculpin, there's rockfish. You know, there's some more yellowtails showing up all the time. The new Seaforth down in San Diego out of Seaforth Sport Fishing has encountered yellowtail on the surface iron from time to time. Again, if you're going to fish bass down there right now, back off on the fluoro. Drop it down to 12 pound. You'll get bit up all day long when other people are not getting bit. So keep that in mind. We do see the Dana Pride with some outstanding calico bass action and small bonito biting yesterday. They had a lot of fun there. Up here in the Santa Monica Bay, we saw the Native Son catching 5 halibut out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. The Victory and those guys have been fishing locally and getting a lot of sculpin, rockfish, a few bass, and an occasional halibut. Nice score there on board the Native Son up in the Santa Monica Bay. Redondo Special still picking at the calico bass. This isn't over quite yet, and this water is really warm, which bodes well for a lot of different things to happen on the local scene, including some fall yellowtail action and maybe even some Dorado pushing up this way. We'll only have to wait and see. Man, this is beautiful warm water here this lovely Sunday morning with the birds chirping and picking bait off in the surf. You have got to love what you are seeing here. Up there in the Channel Islands, there's some bass up there, but again, quite pickier. Not as good as it once was. Let's take you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. It's at the opposite end of that great tower that Rob took us for a tour in yesterday. It was great. It's down this way, and it's a great place. They got all the tackle you'll need, not only for surf fishing, but also for white sea bass, yellowtail, bluefin tuna, and everything in between. They've got your bait, and they give away a free custom rod every single month. Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. Wayne Shimabakoro was catching some small bar perch down there around Bolsa Chica. That's in the mix right now. There's been more Corbina, and I would suspect we're going to see even more of that in the shallow water here. There's got to be some fish here this morning, the way the birds have been working. Corbina. We are breaking in with some surf fishing news for you here this morning as our dear Freedman Adventures family member Jody Okamoto just caught this 22-inch beautiful Corbina, Manhattan Beach, California, 8-pound fluorocarbon, a number 6 hook, and he was using the Benji Kim sand crab meatball method, which is taking a bunch of small sand crabs and putting them on the hook. It's an enticing bait. Gorgeous fish caught in Manhattan Beach, California at 7:05 this morning. And also some yellowfin croaker still wandering around here in Surfside, California. It hasn't been wide open by any stretch of the imagination, but it's been okay. Let's put it that way. Long Beach, occasional halibut up there in that area. And also we continue to see up there in the Santa Monica Bay some good Corbina fishing between the Hermosa, Manhattan Beach Pier down there around the Topaz Rock Jetty, and up in El Segundo. We've also seen a little bit of that going on, in addition to the possibility of even a better bite with these birds picking in the surf. And that is gorgeous. It's definitely low tide right now. I like fishing that window when you're surf fishing. There's a 4-hour window, 2 hours before the high tide until 2 hours after the high tide. Having said that, you can pick off Corbina in this kind of a condition, a low tide. You can pick off halibut. And I see my friends come down here. These guys are really good fishermen. They'll come down on the low and just walk out and make a really long cast. They dig up sandworms here in the sand, obviously, and toss it out there. And they catch yellowfin croaker, spotfin croaker. They do quite well. So I do like that window, but you can catch fish on the low. And it's just a blessing to be out here walking around, no question about that. Really great to see that bluefin tuna fired up and biting, and it is biting really, really well. If you didn't get to go for a tour there at the tower with us yesterday on the morning briefing. Check that out. I'm also going to release that as a separate entity here very, very soon. Just have the tower video. That was such a fun time. And Rob, one more time, Julie, all the guys I got to meet yesterday, safe travels to Houston, my friend. All right, have a great one. Don't forget, 2 live shows tomorrow. The Danny Cadota Show live at 4 o'clock from 22nd Street Landing. And then 6 p.m., we're going to have Sam De La Torre Island Fishing Tackle. That's going to be so much fun. That's at 6 p.m. Take care. Have a great one. And I hope to see you really, really soon.